Hey guys, so this is what we're going to be creating here. This is actually an object that is being run, and every time I'm running it, I'm... that's one of my favorite upgrades. Oh look, it increased my stamina. So, this is a literal object that we're going to be creating. Oh man, my health is 1 now, but my boomerang can go through walls though, and it can pick things up. So that is what we're going to be programming. Let's get to it. That's the object itself. So, in order to create that, we're going to go into our O level up. This is, whenever this gets created, it freezes the game and it creates that screen. This is the level up. Now, let's start putting in some variables. We're going to start at item index 0. This simply means that... So you guys saw how there were like 3 boxes, right? Box 1, that could contain any upgrade from our list that we inserted. Box 2 and box 3. Well, the box 1 is actually called item index, and it's going to be on the 0 item index. That's where they start, because we're going to be using an array. It's going to be... Oh. I'm going to file new. Don't save. So these boxes are going to work simply like this. This is an array. And these boxes contain stuff, right? That's where our upgrades come in. And we can have a lot of different upgrades, but the boxes will still remain there. And these is this. So in our array, we need to. Our goal is going to be simply to insert three random boxes, right? And so we're going to have an array of actually 2. Array of 2. So that's how it's going to work. We're going to be using these 3 boxes, this array of 3, to create edit. And item index 0 means that it's going to naturally be at it's going to start at 0. And if we set this to 1, then when this gets created, it's going to highlight this because it means 1 is being selected. And if this is 2, it means it's 2 is being selected. That's what that means. Pause means there's going to be a variable called paused, and when it's set to true, when it's set to true, then everything is going to be paused, and we're going to be using this to control it. So if we look at destroy, everything gets destroyed. All right, and then when we shuffle the list, paused sprite equals no one. Pause underscore sprite scale. This is going to be equal to our display get GUI width view w port 0. Then we're going to set our pause flag, and we're going to set this to true. Stranger is equal to false. Pause flags are going to be little indicators that we're going to be using to control other variables in front of our code. Now let's start creating our choices. Global.upgrade choices. Now, this is going to be a really big. This is going to be a really interesting one to go over. So, do you guys remember how we had like an array, right? Let me just create choices size global upgrade 0 var I size equals 3 choices. Wait, I think in our game event, I'm right. All right, so this is very important. In your initializer object in your O game, we're gonna set this to 3, and if we set this to 4, what it's gonna do is it's going to set so you guys saw how we have like 1, 2, we have 3 boxes, right? That's what that is, you know. If this gets set to 4 at any point, then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And that could be a really cool upgrade. Increase the array size. You know? For all intents and purposes, we're going to set this to 3. But if we want to change it to a bigger number later in the game, we can even just set it here in our turn reset all upgrades. You know, that would be a really cool upgrade, right? Increase the choices you have by 1. So, this just simply means the size is going to be 3. And then we're going to create our array. So here it's going to say, alright, so this equals 0, right? So this simply is okay, so this is equals 3, right guys? And this is what we insert. So think of this as one big old 3. The 3 gets inserted here, and 3 is size. Alright, size is equal to 3. That's how many boxes we're going to have. So we're going to see this I is 0, right? We want to start creating boxes. So it's going to say, oh boy, how many boxes do we make? And it says, oh, well, do it 3 times, my man. It's like, okay, you got it. And so you go here, and then we're going to say that we're going to create our first box. Our box 0, remember? You guys remember this? It says, alright, box 0 has been created, guys. It's like, great, you're awesome. Now that we have finished creating our first box, we're going to add 1. So this is equals to 1 now, and then it's going to repeat this whole process. It goes, okay, now we're going to create array 1, and this gets created now. It's like, alright, so box 1 gets created, and now box 1, we go here, and then we have our box, okay, remember, if this is equal to 1, because we have box 1 that's being created right now, then we have our array that is 1 gets created. Bam! Box 1 has just been created. Now we repeat for 3. Bam! It's like, I already know what to do. If this is equal to, this is box number 2, well, box number 2, right? So it goes 2, we're going to go here, and then it's going to, so global variable, box 2, and then this is going to be set to no 1. So, essentially, we have just completely finished making these arrays, right? Now, here's the thing though. When these 3 get created, they have they contain this called no 1. And it just means that we've created the boxes, but there's nothing in it. So GameMaker puts this number, -4. It just simply means there's nothing there, alright? You can select it all you want, but the boxes are made, but there's no stuff inside the boxes. Alright, so let's put stuff inside the boxes now. Dang, that was the greatest explanation ever. I'm real surprised. Alright, let's go upgrade add choices. Okay, so this is a new script that we're going to be making here. Scripts, right-click, create script. Script, upgrade add choices. Now that we've created the boxes, we want to put stuff in them, right? Right, guys? So we want to start putting our upgrades that we made in our previous one. If you didn't make any, don't worry, I'll give you a hand. Alright, for this tutorial, we're gonna be creating 3 different upgrades. And the upgrades are going to be, oh man, someone just arrived at my house. But, let's see. Alright. Alright, we're gonna make an easy one. It's gonna be add extra health, right? Whatever your health variable is, we're gonna add +1 to it. We're also going to be adding max stamina. Stamina up, description +2 event, and then we're gonna, in our user event, global, our stamina is plus equals 2, global st. This could be anything you want, but whatever you want to add to your whenever this code gets run, it means that it has been selected, right? So that's what that would be. We add in a title, we add a description, do the same for health. I add this because when it adds an extra health to your health total, we want our old health to equal the new health, right? So imagine your health is 3 hearts, right? Now our health is 4 hearts, but our regular health is still 3. So this just says, well, our new health is now 4, so like update that information, my dude. Alright. And then I also have let's also do stamina regeneration. Stamina, all right, supercharged. Stamina charges 10% faster. These are for my shop. You don't really need them. Global dot stamina. So whatever my stamina interval is, I'm just gonna like make it a little bit faster here, and that's the code that I have. Or if you want to do it really even easier, well, this one's even easier. You can just like add to your movement speed. It'll just become a little bit faster. Quick feet move 10% quicker. All right. So just a real quick little rundown of the our parent. It's very important that all of your upgrades are tied to this parent, right? And we want our parent object to have these variables. Some of them are going to be overwritten, but it's very important that if we create an object and if we create a new upgrade and it doesn't contain any of these, it'll backup safety one, and this will just make sure that they are gone when this gets created. For now, you can just use the O player, but I highly advise against it. I recommend that you create this what called the pause parent, and what it is so what this is essentially okay. So let's go to our level up. Oh, there it is. There it is. So our level up is tied to the pause parent. The pause parent, you can look at it and say, hey, there's no code in here. Why do we need this if it doesn't have any code here? See, there's like nothing here, right? So why? Well, the thing is that we only want our upgrades to be visible while the O level up is there. We want them to just not be there at all, not take up any extra memory when the game isn't being run. So we set the visibility to off for now. It's very important that they do exist in the room because we are going to be shuffling them in later. So now that we have, all right. So now that we have some upgrades, we're going to start. What we're going to do is we're going to start tying in the titles that we created in our item list, and then we're going to be tying them in to these new ones. So what it's going to essentially do is it's going to say, well, I have just shuffled this list, and I'm going to be looking for a value, right? And what I got was this, and I don't really know what that is. It's text. That's what the GameMaker is doing. It's literally text. What am I supposed to do? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell GameMaker, all right. So whenever you get this text written in this exact order, like whenever you see this string, you are going to return this. You're going to essentially, if you ever see this, you're gonna get this out, right? You put this in, you put this out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna just translate the text to the objects that we want, and GameMaker is gonna do exactly that for us. Then here we have our singleton. This is just going to make it so we can only choose one upgrade, right? If it wasn't for this code, then we could get like different multiple times of the upgrade. This one, you'll just have to take my word for it. And here we have the item list, array, find index, upgrade. So we can only have one of that value, and then we're gonna have global upgrade. Man, it took so long to make a lot of this code. Like I had but then I'm presenting them so quick. It's hard to not see the hours. Anyways, so let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right. going to set our first argument, argument 0, which is a value. We're going to set our array, which is a global list. No, global upgrade, my mistake. This contains the number 3. This is going to contain one of the upgrades, right? This is going to contain one of these. And we're going to say array size. Look for array one direction array. For var u I equals 0, it's going to equal to array size, which is the size of 3. So 3 goes to 3. Here it's going to say how big is it? It's going to say it's 3. And then we're going to create this tiny little loop that will go over and over and over again. And it's going to start. Alright, here is how this loop works. If it equals negative, okay, oh, I even wrote it down here. If it equals -1, which is nothing, it will return as false. Once we return true, then we get out of this piece of code. Alright, so if item index equals 0, -1, which means that it's false, right? Well, it's actually equal to no 1, I think. Then we're going to run this. I think it should be -1, because item index. Dang, this code is like, yeah, because it's set here to -1. If it cannot find it, it will. If it does find it, it will return 1, and if it cannot find it, it will return -1. So whenever we add in an upgrade, if it finds it and it puts it in, it will give out a 1. But if it doesn't find one, if it doesn't find an upgrade, if this doesn't find an upgrade in here, in our list, then it's going to say -1. Here you go. Huh, alright. So, if the item index is -1, which means we cannot find it, and we'll run this, it says we can't find it. So we're going to add this, our array size equals equal to the array length. So we have our 3. Var I equals 0. I is less than array underscore size. I plus plus. And then we're going to start creating a loop. So it's going to start cycling in through the boxes here. Box 0, box 1, box 2. If there is nothing there, it's going to say, here's the whole magic. Holy cow. If you've gotten this far, it's beautiful. Essentially, if it says nothing, remember, we've made these, and then we also set them to no 1. Remember when we created these? We created these, and then here we set them to no 1. So no 1 is what these boxes contain. Now, the reason that's super important is because of this, right? Okay, because they equal no 1, that means, it's an empty box. So we're going to throw in one of the upgrades that we have just randomly selected. So global.upgrade, so whatever this box is, it's going to get an upgrade inserted inside of it, right? It's going to equal to the upgrade. So if we've gotten this far in this piece of code, we're going to return true. And it means like, yes, we have successfully thrown in a box. Yes, we have done it. Congratulatory hand clap. Get out of this piece of code as fast as you can. And that's what's gonna happen. And if it doesn't return true, then it's gonna keep doing it over and over and over and over a billion times if it has to. If you get anything wrong, it might be because it wasn't able to return true, and it's just looping over and over and over and over again. So this just gets out of this. It's like a escape button. Alright, now that is like, holy cow, that is everything. Everything here is like gonna be like when you climb up a mountain, this is gonna be like the downward-ish part. Alright, so we have now successfully gotten our box, we have our array boxes, we have our items inside of the boxes. Now let's just pause the game and make sure that the only thing that is moving is going to be the it's only going to be the like the thing that you're highlighting the boxes, and you don't want to control the player. You don't want anything to move. Everything, you want everything to be frozen, right? So for that one, we're going to move on to the next tutorial, right? Or I could just do it quickly here. I guess I could do it here fast. All right, let's go. Easy downward slope. All right, so it paused. No, set this to false, right? So we're gonna set this to var array size, array length 1G. This is our. Okay, so this should be equal to 3. If O input that right press, so whatever you have to the right key, you're going to select. We're gonna be able to click on the right side. So we're gonna clamp it so it doesn't move past the array size. Yeah. So if you're on the third array and you don't want it to go, if you're on the array 0, 1, 2, if you're on the third box, if you're on this box and you want to go even further, you can't. It'll just keep it locked here. So that's what that does. Item index is going to equal to minimum item index plus 1, array size minus 1. And then we're also going to do the same thing for the left rest. So if item index is equal to max item index minus 1, comma 0. And then we also have a little audio effect whenever you press these buttons to make sure that the game feels responsive to the player. And here I have my, it should say activate, but my back key is actually the button that's like that. It's a space bar, right? If O input dot back, then we activate. Global dot upgrade item index. So, oh, here's our event 0. So we're going to say whatever is inside of here, we're going to be activate whatever is in item 0 event, whatever is in event 0, whatever code is there, we're going to activate it. So it's going to look at global.upgrade item index, and it's going to say, okay, what is the object found in this, right? So we put a little play button with activate. So with activate, so with this code, with this, we're going to run a piece of code for this, and we're going to be activating event user 0. Man, it looks so simple, but like, dang. And then that it has activated, we're going to set paused equal to false. If if the sprite exists, paused sprite. In a second. Thank you. If sprite exists, paused sprite. I'm going to set sprite delete, pause sprite. And then we're going to instance activate all, instance destroy all. Alright, now we're actually going to be deactivating everything except the bare essentials. So, if pause sprite equals true, which should be set, if paused, we're going to set paused equals to false. And, okay, we're going to pause everything. If the sprite exists, pause sprite, sprite delete, pause sprite. Then instance activate all. Audio play sound, a underscore on pause, 5, false, whatever the sound effect is for the unpause. Or else, paused equals true, pause sprite, sprite create from surface, and then we're going to be creating a kind of like a sprite, sort of. We're going to be creating that black image in front of everything. Application surface 0, 0, viewport 0, hport 0, false, false, 0, 0. we don't want to deactivate the game object. We want to deactivate everything except the bare essentials, which for me is going to be whatever is in charge of everything. Your initializer, the thing that keeps everything going. You also have your inputs, your audio player, anything that is essential. You want to keep activating, right? This was deactivated, the player couldn't press the keyboard. If this was deactivated, the player couldn't hear anything. If this was deactivated, the game would crash. So your bare essentials, and we reactivate our items. So var array size is equal to array length 1D global dot upgrade. For var I equals 0, we're going to set make sure it's written exactly like this with the make sure there's no like typos, because most of my coding, a lot of the problems were actually typos. Array size, then we're gonna reactivate our upgrade object, and then finally we are going to set everything back to we're going to reactivate everything. Whew, instance act. So actually, no, never mind, we're only going to be activating our bare essentials. That's what I meant. Our input objects are, well, this is my thing, but like my game, my audio player, and then we're going to play the paused sound and the pause lag, to false. So this pauses everything, and this unpauses everything. So if pause is equal to true, we do it all. We run this. If pause is equal to false, we reactivate everything and we unpause everything. But if it's equal to true, then we run this, because it's, yeah. Alright, we set an alarm 0 and we don't put any code. And if you've gotten to this point, guys, give yourselves a round of applause, because there's only like one more thing to do left, and that is to click on that little button, and it'll give you an error sign because it something went wrong. And I know I went through that. Sorry. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm just kidding. You guys will be great. All right. You guys are gonna be fine. Because there's just so much text, right? Var GUI underscore width equals display get GUI width, and then we're going to find out what our width and height is, because we're going to create that giant black image in front of it. If the sprite exists, pause sprite, we're going to run this. Draw sprite underscore ext, pause sprite underscore 0 0 0, pause sprite scale, pause sprite scale 0 see white 1. Alright, let's draw the actual rectangle. Just the rectangle color 0 0 GUI width, height black 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 falso, and then it's going to have an alpha of 1. Oh, actually this is an alpha of 8.5. Wonder why it over. Oh yeah, overwrites it. Alright, we're almost there, guys. Almost there, guys. Last piece of code. Last piece of code. Alright, so we're going to be creating a brand new script called upgrade draw. And we have essentially created everything, right? But we haven't drawn it to the front end of the screen yet. That's the only thing that we're missing. So we're going to create a brand new script called upgrade underscore draw. And we're going to put the value 4 and 36 here. Alright, so if o level up dot pause exit, this is going to create a safety measure to make sure that if this is ever true, we're never going to be drawing anything on the game world. So if paused equal to true, yeah, if paused equals to true, then we're not going to run this code. Alright, so this is, I think it should be 4, and this is 36. And then we're going to create a brand new array size, array length, no, another array length, global.upgrade. And here we're going to set the var I is going to equal to 0, I less than array size, I plus plus. And it's just going to create a tiny little loop where it's going to draw. So what this is going to do is it's going to draw this box, and then 32 pixels from that box, it's going to draw another box. So here to here should be 32. 32 plus 115. And these values work for me really, really well. So I ended up just using them. And then it's going to set the Y position for the box. And then we're going to set our sprite. So this is a sprite that I used. It's a little nice box and works perfectly fine for what we're looking to do. Alright, so why does this for opening when I clearly do not want that? Mushroom Tyler. I want O level up. Thank you. Alright. So there's our inventory box. 0, box X, box Y, bar item equals global.upgrade. If instance exists item, then we're going to set everything here. Draw sprite item.sprite 0 xbox X 16 xbox Y 16. If the current iteration of the loop is the same as our item index, then we're going to be setting this. If I equal to item is equal to item index, we're going to be drawing the pause cursor. And this is just going to be a little cursor. Open, close arena. Oh, wait. Haha. Open up Premiere. Alright. Draw sprite as pause cursor, image index, and yeah, here's our, okay, now we're going to be drawing our pause cursor, right? And wherever this cursor is, we're going to be setting our X and Y, the X and Y position will have to be on the box themselves as well. So, let's go. If the item exists, item, then we're going to be drawing the title for that specific item. Draw set color, see black, and I'm gonna, okay, so the reason why we have to write it 2 times is, it's easy to show you here in Paint. So let's say I have the letter L, right? And we fill this with black. Wait, if I click this, yeah, oh, wait. There we go. Oh, wait, this is supposed to go like a little further ahead. But the idea is that it gives it this 3D-ish look. You know, it just gives it this nice little implied amount of depth, you know? This little, it just looks nice. Instead of just having like a yellow L, there's like, it gives it a little bit of a shadow behind it. So that's why we do it 2 times. And these values worked out really well for me. You guys are free to experiment with these numbers. These work really well though, so I recommend using them. So then we also have the description, and we also have the the description and the little backdrop for it, black and then white. And then the text, description. Then the final part, which is going to be select the upgrade with space, our text right here. And we're just going to be writing this as fast as possible. GUI width, get the width, level string, the text width, strength width, level string, and this should simply just write it on the top. And now, once you have finished, alright, I have it set to act so that the object activates when I right click my mouse. Never mind, I have taken that out. I forgot I have taken that out. But once you have finished, it should work. So let's go to enemies and get some EXP, because that'll create the effect. Oh man, dang guys, if you guys got this far, then I'm hecka proud of you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Oh, should give us enough experience, I think. There we go. Voila! There we go. Everything is deactivated. We cannot actually move the player. Our little cursor is on each box. We have each array. Each array has the objects that we put into it. And could you guys imagine that by the time that someone plays your game and they see like, wow, this looks really simple, right? They'll never realize the amount of work and effort that you put into it, and you're like, dang, yeah, it looks nice. I made sure I spent like who knows how long making sure this felt as good as possible. So yeah, really awesome feature, I think. But you'll know, all that work and effort that went into it, and you'll feel so good once you have someone like just playing your game and they see it and they're like, just another upgrade system, just like the 20 million games I've played before. You'll be like, yeah, but I made that one. Oh, it's gonna give you this really great feeling of satisfaction. Anyways, maybe that's just me projecting. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. If you would like to see any other tutorials, just let me know in the YouTube comment section. If you'd like to, if this has helped you in any way or form, want to say thanks or something, I'm also gonna leave a link to my Patreon. I really appreciate you guys for taking the time for watching this, and it'll just be there in case you want to say thanks or give me a tip like you would to a waiter in a bar. I'm glad to serve you. Anyways, thank you very much. Have a phenomenal day.